You're staring at your phone. Again. It's not even a dramatic text. Just something simple, something warm. I miss you, or can we talk later? You've felt far away. And for some reason, your whole body changes. Your chest tightens, your jaw locks. Your brain starts reaching for distance before your heart even gets a vote. You tell yourself you're tired, busy, overwhelmed. But beneath the surface, something more honest is happening. Why does this make me want to disappear? Why does closeness feel like pressure? Why do I care so much and still pull away? Am I broken? Am I just not built for relationships? Here's the truth most people never hear. Healing as a dismissive avoidant does not begin when love starts feeling easy. It begins when your old ways of staying emotionally safe start feeling impossible to hide inside. You're not failing at love. You're not too damaged for connection. And this is not proof that you chose the wrong person or that something is wrong with you. If anything, it may be proof that you are finally becoming emotionally available in ways your nervous system still finds unfamiliar. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the 4 uncomfortable signs that you're actually healing emotionally, so you can stop mistaking progress for regression. Let's get into it. Most people think healing means you become calmer overnight, more open, more affectionate, less triggered. Like one day you just wake up and closeness feels natural. But the real truth is almost the opposite. When you have a dismissive avoidant attachment style, your nervous system learned a very specific equation a long time ago. Need equals pressure. Dependence equals danger. Closeness equals losing control. So when healing begins, love doesn't always feel soothing at first. Sometimes it feels exposing. Sometimes it feels clumsy. Sometimes it feels like the emotional numbness that protected you is starting to crack. And now everything feels louder than it used to. That's why this gets so confusing. Because most couples think distance means you care less. But often, the real truth is that distance is what happens when someone cares, gets overwhelmed, and has no idea how to stay present without shutting down. Your partner's nervous system is reading you before their mind can catch up. And your nervous system is doing the same with them. So what looks like coldness is often protection. What looks like neediness is often fear. What looks like stonewalling is usually someone who has been so flooded for so long that silence feels safer than honesty. Not weakness, not indifference, not a lack of love, but a pattern your body learned to survive. And here's what changes everything. Healing for a dismissive avoidant is not just becoming better at communication. It's becoming someone who can feel, stay, soften, and repair without abandoning yourself in the process. So if healing has felt ugly lately, awkward lately, even painful lately, honestly, that may be a very good sign. 1. You feel more, and you hate it. Most people in relationships assume healing should make you feel lighter right away. But for dismissive avoidance, one of the first signs of healing is that you actually feel more. More sadness, more guilt, more tenderness, more grief, more longing. And it can feel brutal. Because for a long time, your attachment pattern protected you through emotional over-control. You stayed functional. You stayed composed. You stayed distant enough to not need too much. But when that emotional armor starts loosening, the feelings you used to suppress don't disappear. They surface. And here's the part no one talks about. When numbness starts lifting, it doesn't always feel like relief. It can feel like being flooded by emotions you never learned how to name. Your nervous system has spent years treating vulnerability like smoke in the house. So the second a real feeling appears, the alarm goes off. Maybe before, after conflict, you told yourself, "It's whatever. I'm over it." Now you sit alone later and realize, "No, I'm actually hurt." Or, "I miss them." Or, "I feel bad for how I shut down." That inner shift matters. A lot. The disconnecting version sounds like this. "I don't know why you're making this such a big deal. I said I'm fine." The connecting version sounds like this. "I want to say I'm fine, but honestly, I think I'm overwhelmed, and I need a minute to figure out what I'm actually feeling." That is not regression. That is emotional clarity being born. Slowly, awkwardly, real. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down because you're no longer hiding from your own inner world. 2. Closeness starts feeling more uncomfortable before it feels safe. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples think if a relationship is healthy, closeness should feel natural all the time. But if you're healing from dismissive avoidant patterns, closeness can actually feel more intense for a while, not less. Why? Because before healing, distance was automatic. You pulled back quickly, minimized fast, rationalized everything. You didn't stay in emotionally intimate moments long enough to fully feel what they activated in you. But now you do. Now, when someone is tender with you, really present with you, really emotionally available with you, something in your body may not melt. It may brace. Not because they're wrong for you, not because intimacy is bad, not because you're incapable of love, but because unfamiliar safety can feel threatening to a nervous system trained to survive through independence. That's the paradox. You can want connection and still feel the urge to run from it. You can love someone and still feel swallowed when they get too close. You can be healing and still think, "Why is this making me want space?" Here's the internal monologue nobody says out loud. "They're being good to me, so why do I suddenly feel trapped?" That thought doesn't mean you're heartless. It means your body is learning a new language. The disconnecting version sounds like this. "I just need space. I don't know, you're doing too much." The connecting version sounds like this. "I care about you. I'm noticing I get overwhelmed when things feel emotionally intense, and I don't want to shut down on you. I just need a little time so I can come back present." That's a huge shift, because space stops being an escape route and starts becoming something honest and intentional. And that's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like pressure into one that feels like emotional safety. 3. You start seeing the impact of your distance, and it hurts. Here's the part no one wants, but it matters. Most people think healing is all relief, insight, growth, peace. But one of the most uncomfortable signs that you are actually healing is that you can no longer stay numb to the impact your withdrawal has had on the people you love. Before, you might have told yourself a story. I just need space. I'm not good with emotions. This is just how I am. And on some level, that story protected you from shame. But healing makes the story harder to hide inside. Because now you start noticing the look on their face when you go cold. The pause after your silence. The way they stop asking for reassurance. Because they're tired of feeling like too much. And suddenly, what used to feel neutral starts feeling real. Her brain may be quietly registering, every time I reach for you, I lose you. His body may be saying, I don't need perfection. I just need to know you're still here. That awareness can sting a lot. Bro, sometimes it stings because you finally have enough presence to feel what your defenses once kept buried. And here's what changes everything. This isn't about drowning in guilt. This isn't a communication hack. This is what emotional maturity starts to look like when someone stops protecting their self-image more than the relationship. The disconnecting version sounds like this. You're too sensitive. I didn't do anything. The connecting version sounds like this. I can see how I disappeared just now. I think I shut down when I feel pressure, but I get that it lands like rejection. I'm sorry. That sentence is small, but emotionally, it is massive. Because when you can name your pattern without defending it, your partner stops feeling crazy for what they felt. And that's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person you can finally meet. 4. You stop wanting to do everything alone. Most couples never figure out this one because it looks so subtle from the outside. One of the deepest dismissive avoidant patterns is not just avoiding feelings. It's building an identity around not needing anyone, being fine, being self-contained, being the one who can handle it. And here's the problem. Self-reliance is not the issue. Strength is not the issue. Independence is not the issue. But when needing support feels humiliating, when softness feels weak, when being witnessed feels unsafe, you don't just protect yourself from disappointment, you also protect yourself from connection. Healing starts when that identity begins to loosen. Not because you become clingy, not because you lose yourself, not because you suddenly want constant closeness, but because some real part of you starts admitting, I actually do want support sometimes. That can feel deeply uncomfortable, almost embarrassing. You may catch yourself wanting to text first, wanting comfort after a hard day, wanting someone to sit with you instead of leaving you alone with your thoughts. And immediately, another voice kicks in. No, don't do that. Handle it yourself. But here's what nobody explains. That tension is not weakness. That tension is healing. Because the old version of you only felt safe when you needed nothing. The healing version of you is becoming someone who can stay powerful and connected. The disconnecting version sounds like this. I'm good. Don't worry about me. The connecting version sounds like this. I know I usually go inward when I'm stressed, but I actually don't want to be alone tonight. Can you just sit with me for a bit? That moment may look small, It is not small. Because intimacy is not built in the big speeches. It's built in tiny 30-second moments where you stop performing invulnerability and let yourself be real. And when you do that, connection stops feeling like something you have to earn and starts feeling like something you're finally able to receive. So, if you've been feeling more emotional lately, more exposed lately, more aware of your patterns lately, less able to disappear the way you used to, here's the truth. That may not be you falling apart. That may be you coming back online. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. To become someone who can stay connected without feeling consumed. Someone who can tell the truth before distance turns into drift. Someone who can feel fear without automatically obeying it. And honestly, that changes everything. Because when you internalize this, you stop confusing self-protection with strength. You stop calling emotional distance peace. You stop waiting for connection to feel effortless before you participate in creating it. These aren't just signs you're healing. They're signs you're becoming the kind of partner who can build something real. And here's the mic drop truth. Real intimacy doesn't start when closeness stops scaring you. It starts when you choose to stay honest, even while it does.